Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, you can hear me. We're going to check into a new video that a sluther out there in the crime sector put out. And what it is like the footage of ringtone guy, but it's like exposed photo. So you can see a lot of stuff that we all pretty much noticed in his front right pocket was a bulge. Now this sleuther went ahead and like infrared, like maybe superimposed, exposed the video, so it looks like somewhat of a photo, if you ever seen an exposed photo, it's like white, black and white, whatever. But you could tell there's something in the front pocket. Now, what we have found out, or he did when he did all this, he zoomed in. It's almost got like a Nextel uh, antenna on it, or a phone, one of the older phones, possibly maybe a company phone or a handheld police scanner. That also would make sense because then he would be able to hear if there were any calls or if anybody was, uh, if any police were coming or anything like that. He would be able to hear the call if it was a small hand scanner or something like that. So let's take a look at this footage real quick because you could definitely tell there's something in the front pocket. It might have been an FMR or a FM sniffer, frequency sniffer, which might have been used. You might be able to use something like that to pick up a signal from either a phone, a camera, so you can see what's going on. Or maybe it detects if there is a camera or some kind of a device, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a company phone. He didn't want to use his own phone, right? Possibly, maybe. But let's take a look at this footage.
Upon further studying the Nancy Guthrie Nest Cam, I have noticed even more potential clues, such as this one, where we can see something almost round, cylinder shape, in the right pocket of the intruder's jacket. Here, take a closer look. I've even done more comparisons between the still image and the videos released, since some believe it could be a different person, so I thought I would overlay some video with the original still shot. And what I discovered will certainly shock you. We'll be covering this and much more in today's video. Welcome and good day. You are now watching the MOB crew. Let's get started.
Of course, we've been tracking for weeks now the disappearance of the mother of Today's Show host, Savannah Guthrie, Nancy Guthrie, disappearing, and really footage. And really, we have not had a whole lot of substantive major developments come out in this case, at least that we, the media, have gotten a hold of since these images were released. We've gotten sporadic updates about some of the leads they're tracking as far as the forensic evidence that the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department is tracking. The federal agents, by the way, that were at the home earlier today, they were there for several hours this afternoon. Several cars were seen going in and out of the driveway throughout the course of the afternoon. And this is what we're getting from Michael Ruiz. Several news outlets reporting this and citing Savannah Guthrie's network, NBC, saying that authorities are preparing to release Nancy Guthrie's home back to the Guthrie family. The development comes after FBI agents were at the home earlier today. We will continue to check in with the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department for any and all major developments.
Before I break down some of the new details.
Hello, Mrs. Mother's Dragons. Welcome, and we're going to do this real quick, this little thing. Now, a lot of people are thinking it's the moon that was cast in a shadow. Now, I've been out in the desert a long time ago. The moon is bright. It is beautiful, right? You don't have to. I mean, if you got a house and it's got landscaping lights around it, and you got your lighthouse, the outside, all you got to do is walk like 20 feet away from the house, and it's pitch black, right? You can see the beautiful sky, the stars, and everything. But everyone's like, well, it was the moon. But there's what was cast in the shadow is the two porch lights before you even get into the entryway, which we said that, I don't know, a couple, I don't know, last week or last video we did, because everyone was shocked. Where's all this light coming from? It was from the moon. But if you would watch the videos in the beginning of it, they showed the front of the house, and there was two lights on the front of the four-way. So usually 84-year-old women leave their porch lights on, and that's what you're seeing. Now, whether them porch lights are connect to a sensor where when you walk up they come on, I'm not sure. But them are the lights that came on and casted a shadow upon them. Let's continue.
Details I have found in the Nest Cam footage, and more. Here's a clip of the latest Savannah Guthrie video, which gives us an important detail about what may have happened that night.
Hi there. I'm coming on to say it is day 24 since our mom was taken in the dark of night from her bed.
Comes together to figure out different clues about the suspect's clothing and accessories, like the backpack and more. I have found even more clues, such as this one in the intruder's right jacket pocket. Let's take a closer look. On the left is the original video, but on the right is a negative filter. Now notice there is something in his jacket pocket on the right side. Do you see it? As we freeze the frame and zoom in, taking a closer look, it almost appears round or cylinder shaped. It could be a flashlight, mace, radio, or something else. Let me know what you think it is in the comment down below.
Now, I'm going to be honest. When I first seen this footage, before this guy got a hold of it, what I showed last week, and I said, there's something in his pocket. You can see it bulging out. I thought it was a watch. I thought it was a lady's watch. From a distance, I seen something. I'm like, is that a watch band? But it's not a watch. That's the tag of his jacket, right? It's on his pocket. But we knew something was in that pocket because when he turned, it bulged out from the side. And people are like, well, it's a gun. But we were like, well, the gun's still in the front of his pants. So it's got to be something that's making it bulge like that.
But it's clear there is something in this jacket pocket, as we can see the bulge as the intruder turns their body. Here is another look at the object where it appears to be sticking out of the jacket. Here it almost looks like a radio or a walkie-talkie. Here is a side-by-side with a negative view. February 10th, FBI Kash Patel would release 3 short videos and a still image, shown here. But when comparing the still image to the video, we can see that this person is not wearing a backpack, nor the holstered gun. So the big question is, was this the same intruder, taken from the same night? And if so, when was this still image taken? Or could it be that this still image was taken from another night entirely? I have 2 theories that I will present to you, and I think you will find both very shocking. As I mentioned in another video, I believe the intruder, in the still image, originally tried to tamper with the Nest camera, but was unsuccessful at taking it off, but by doing so it changed the angle of the camera, as we can see that the tiles and archway don't quite match up, as seen here. So the first theory is that the suspect showed up a different night prior to the abduction. Take a look at the rocks to the right of the intruder.
Mrs. Dragon Lady, I don't know if you can hear me or not. I've been having trouble with my microphone, but I don't think it's a silencer. This guy don't seem that brilliant. It could be. Anything is possible in something like this, but I don't think so. I don't think it's a silencer. Uh, but it is possible. Good point. It could be a silencer, but I don't know. I think it's like a phone or something he took from the place, or maybe like a scanner, hand small scanner, uh, even an older cell phone. If you go to Walmart, uh, dollar store, you can buy them old phones, but they had an antenna on it, like a Nextel radio, but it was actually a phone. But some of these phones actually also act as a radio. So he can have a phone and a radio in one thing.
Almost appears as if they were moved. Here, take a closer look. The other argument is that this intruder seen in the still image is not the same person. Although it's hard to line them up one to one, it does appear as if one is taller and wider, while the other one could be a bit shorter and thinner. Here's a closer look. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Now here is my second theory. I believe that the still image is from the same night, but it was taken around 3 hours before the intruder came back to abduct Nancy Guthrie, and here is the alleged evidence to back up this theory. Now, according to Google and other sites, since Nancy did not have a subscription for the Nest camera, it only saves up to 3 hours of video at a time, then it rewrites over itself. So according to these details, and if they're correct, that means if the intruder came around 1 a.m., the last known footage could only save 3 hours prior to that. It's possible that the still image was taken nearly 3 hours prior, and this would have been around the time that Nancy was still at the dinner party or was on her way home, meaning the intruder had inside knowledge she would have been gone. If true, the intruder originally tried to disconnect the Nest cam but was unsuccessful, and Nancy was on her way back home, so the intruder had to leave and come back. That would explain why the background is so dark, is that it's because Nancy was gone and her porch lights were not on yet. But as you can see, in the video we can clearly see the intruder's shadow. And when running these images and video through ChatGPT, it concluded that it was more likely that the porch lights were causing the shadow and not the moonlight. Also, why was Nancy never alerted via her iPhone or Apple Watch when motion was detected on her Nest camera? Did somebody turn her notifications off?
Now, let's get into this. In order for someone to do this, they would have had to have the Apple Watch to shut everything off. Right? Therefore, it could have been shut off, but she wasn't there. Now, I don't know how good them Apple Watches are. If they keep your heartbeat and everything, they'll know, if someone puts a watch on and someone other than her, and walks around with it, they'd be able to tell, this is not Nancy Guthrie. This is not Nancy Guthrie. A warning go off. I'm not sure. But if this is going down how we think it went down, they wouldn't have had to have, Mrs. Guthrie wasn't even there. And I'm not sold on it until they show us the footage of her actually leaving the house for this dinner date, the vehicle that picked her up, and the vehicle actually pulling in and driving past that camera, going and coming from her dinner date. If not, she wasn't there. Someone had her, possibly. I or this watch, and possibly her phone, and shut everything down. But even though it was shut down, it remained to keep filming. So let's check the chat real quick. Yes, sir. I hear you're feeling terrible for Mrs. Guthrie and her family. You feel, yeah, we all do. It's horrible. Some of those doorbell cameras are battery operated. Yep, they are. Even some are solar and battery operated. So what I'm trying to point out here is Mrs. Guthrie didn't have to be there for this to go down. And it's shocking because usually if this was a robbery like they're saying, but it was an inside job, it don't make sense that they took the body. It don't make sense. Robbers get in. If they have to, they demobilize the people, whether tie them up or get rid of them. And then they get what they need and they leave. Now, if you look at this guy when he walks up, it already looks like he's got phone books in the front of him. If he was going to battle in prison. Like he's got paper, like it looks like he's got paper or something, like stacks of paper or something in the front of his jacket. It looks too squared, like he's got something under there, like documents. For all we know, the robbery already occurred, or whatever happened, whatever he was there for, he got it. She comes home, he does something, but it don't explain why you take the body wet if it was a robbery. It's too risky. It's too much of a hassle. Not unless there's something deeper to this. And they were looking for some kind of a documentation, a will, a deed, a bank account, something. I don't know.
Nancy Guthrie is still missing as of making this video. Please share your thoughts and comments down below. Please smash that like button and consider subscribing to this channel for more updates and video breakdowns. Thank you so much for watching.
All right, that was the mob crew. I posted his channel and chat. Let's check in with JLR, right? Let's just see how JLR is doing real quick. Last time I heard, he was reporting on anything that moved out there. He was, we got movement. He's on the ball. All right, we are live with boots on the ground, Mr. JLR himself. You know, I don't know why they didn't lock that place down.
Cool. It's like,
Yeah, you know,
we out here quit. They said, quit. Screw that. We're not coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what we're looking at here. What's the driveway? It's all crushed gravel. That means any footprints coming up that driveway, you're going to see it's crushed gravel and sand. Why didn't they lock that place down right away? I have no idea. I have no idea. Even if a vehicle pulled in, they would have been able to go through every tire track and come across a vehicle that was there. They never shut the place down. People walking up and down, that's crushed gravel that leaves footprints. It would have left struggle marks if they were carrying out an 84-year-old, practically disabled, they're saying. She could barely move. It would have left drag marks and all kinds of stuff. Why they did not lock that place down? There's something bigger here. Did they put up crime tape, some scene tape? They did, but then they took it down and then they put it up. But that was 9 days later, 10 days later, or whatever, that they finally tried to get everyone out of there. Something is very fishy about this. It's just very fishy. And what I mean fishy is the authorities should have acted a lot differently to this. But then again, we're getting reports from the government saying they had no idea there was even a hostage or communication with a missing person. The police didn't even know. So when exactly was it caught? I don't know. This is fishy, folks. Yo, Miss Fox, how you doing? This is very fishy. Now, what do I think's in his pocket? I don't know. Either a phone and a radio, a scanner, maybe some kind of a RF frequency sniffer to find where the cameras are. Maybe. I don't know how high tech this guy is, but maybe. Now they're saying that he was possibly tipped off, like this was an inside job. If that's the case, then that explains why she ain't there. We didn't even see a body be taken out of there. We didn't see no photos from inside the house. There was a struggle, papers all over, blood. We're not seeing it. Right? We're just not seeing it. We should be seeing it. You know, we should be. Was there cameras inside the house? I don't know. Maybe they know exactly what happened. I don't know. We know this much. Carlos hasn't gotten his phone back yet. We've seen nothing on Dominic being picked up or questioned. We've seen nothing on Tomos, right? Here's Tomos coming out of the police station. Here's Dominic coming out of the police station. We haven't seen none of it. You know, here's police at Dominic's house. No, we haven't seen it. The media is not the authorities. That's not being swatted. These small town cops always keep things from the public, yeah. Probably because something's going on bigger than what we're seeing here. Possibly the government might have been watching the police already. Maybe the police isn't. We don't know. You know, police are corrupt, folks. Police also run their own security business, house security and stuff like that. Oh, something's going on. Jailers and move. What's going on?
All right. Some of the reporters that were on the side said that was the SB.
Getting some negative things.
It's over here in 30.
No problemo.
Oh my God, did we lose speed? Oh, we're back.
Not even the sheriff. You can't even, so you don't even know who works there, what their position is. The public does not know. And then he says the PCSD wouldn't tell Nanos his email address. So they won't even give out his email. So nobody in the public can actually email the sheriff and have him read it.
Yeah.
It has to go through their.
Well, I mean, some of these counties you can't even get the email to the sheriff.
Well, at some point they should. I mean, there's no
Sometimes they
employees
do.
listed on the website at all.
Yeah. We're approaching the 3 o'clock hour, folks. JLR investigates. A lot of activity still going on at Nancy Guthrie's home. We're still having a conversation about the situation.
Man, JLR's been out there so long. JLR, you might as well just get one of them campers that you could sleep in, cook in. Brother, as much as you travel, you might as well get yourself a traveling little small house and park it right in front of where this stuff's going on. JLR on the scene. We're cooking up a couple steaks on the Barbie out here, and to have your own. Oh yeah, the Cube. That's the Cube vehicle. Let's check this out. Is that
They
the
think it's a
vehicle?
Prius. But this is an interesting one. A Nissan Cube.
Yeah, that's what that is. The Cube.
Nissan Cube.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be something. That's who uses
Here's
that?
the vehicle
JLR?
again. Slow mo.
JLR, you might be right there. That might
Do
be
it
a
again.
Cube passing.
Slow mode.
The Cube's got a lot of windows, tons of windows.
Where'd it go? I had it.
Someone's drilling something back.
Somebody's drilling back there. Hold on.
No, it's not here.
It's not here?
A couple houses down that way. I mean, to the left, but at a distance.
Type of vehicle is that? It looks like the back goes downward with like lights. It's white. Looks like the back.
Oh no, that's not
It's
a
pretty
Cube.
much the best image we got off this thing.
That's not a Cube.
Looks like it slants down towards the back.
Yeah, it's not a Cube, JLR. It looks close. You're onto it. You're in the
The
right.
Cube
ball.
doesn't do that.
No, it don't.
The Cube doesn't
Right.
slant in the back. It's
Debbie
just
said like a fishboat. Yeah, it is. It is. It's like a cube. That's why they call it the Cube.
Prius.
Yeah, you're right, Deb. It is like a fishbowl thing.
White. But the Prius does slant. Let me just see the back.
JLR, check and see if
What do you
it's okay. Yeah, something similar to that. Or something similar to Carlos. Remember that vehicle he got picked up?
Yeah, Sport. Maybe it's something with a slant.
Yeah, hey JLR.
I'm still looking.
JLR, buddy. Hey, buddy, check out. You remember Delphi? You remember Richard Allen's vehicle? A special edition Ford Escort or something like that,
with a
whatever it was.
slant in the back.
Check that out, brother. It might be a white version because that vehicle I drove by was either white or like a silver color. I don't know, JL. Just for the heck of it. Debbie, get all of JLR. Tell him to check into the same vehicle but white color as Richard Allen. Dun, dun, dun. Delphi 2026. Delphi, yes, Flintstones. Debbie, it's not the Flintstones. Come on. I know it does look like the Flintstone,
Oh,
the cube.
Sarkar, Sam
I
Lunch
know.
is here.
Oh, you
Sunshine, NP5MR. Sunshine. If you're here, NP5MR. Thank you. Thank you.
for buying them lunch.
I think it's a cool Kia Soul.
My God, I got to get out there and get some free food, Debbie. Buy me a ticket on an airplane. I don't care how much it costs.
We got
I got to
sandwiches.
get there. Lonely days are gone.
just
I'm
gonna
a
eat something
coming
real
home.
quick here.
My baby, she bought
Don't mind
me
me
a
munching.
pizza.
While we wait to find out what's going on.
Get me out there, woman. There's free food to be eaten. Lonely days are gone. My baby, she bought me a pizza. Now, let's get serious here, folks. There's nothing but sand and crushed gravel. Even the walkway is sand and crushed gravel, which leaves what? Impressions. Why? Why didn't they shut this thing down? The whole area within a day. I have no idea, but everybody in the pizza maker was up there. And you got contaminated ground. You got tracks that might have been there, but now who knows whose footprints they are. That's just horrible. Debbie Fox is on it. She's checking into the Flintstone mobile, which we might have something. But yes, the cube does look like the Flintstone mobile. I don't know. This is crazy. My God, what was that? That looked like a Dodge that just passed white. My God, look at that. There's the suspect's vehicle right there. Johnny, it's a sheriff. That's exactly what I said. You're saying the sheriff? That's what I said. Where did JLR get the picture of the car? From the next door neighbor's video camera. I guess the next door neighbor caught a bunch of cars and everything around there. We'll be doing that video next, of the video that comes. I'm waiting for it to come out and be cleaned up by these sleuth guys, before we show it. But I might show it next video we do on the Guthrie case. You don't think she's alive, Mother Dragon? Maybe not. There's a good chance that they made this too huge and it spooked these people. It's obvious these guys were not professional, or we would have never even seen them on camera. They were these are not professional cartel guys, right? Where they spend thousands in planning it. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, the rocks moved. Well, how do you know that's rocks? That might be the backpack. He might have took the backpack off and put it there. Remember when he comes walking up the first time? He comes from that side. That might have been the backpack. But people are saying, well, it's rocks, and them rocks moved. Well, maybe he smashed a window at one of the rocks, or maybe he had something there. Maybe he had some kind of a scanner or detector that he went there before, if she was missing or not home or whatever, and placed something. Maybe he was there before and placed a device under them rocks or in between them rocks where you couldn't really see it unless you moved the rocks. And that device picked up any codes that were being punched or sent, or any codes or any anything like even a garage door opener, it caught that code. And then he used it to get in, maybe. Or he used the rocks, bust a window or something. But see, we're hearing there's no force entry. We ain't seeing, aha, this is the window broken that they broke into poor little Miss Nancy Guthrie's house. We're not seeing that. This is the door that was broken and he made his entry and dun, dun, dun. We're not seeing that. There's no evidence of it. All right, something's going on. Let's jump back with JLR.
All right, let me move that.
He's like,
Oh,
it's in the road, it's a problem. There's nothing in the road, you're fine.
Oh, he's pissed.
We are on easement.
I'm this way now.
Oh, he's pissed. Get out of there.
I gotta move.
Oh, they're throwing stuff around. They're pissed. This
What we
might
do,
be.
we were very responsible by being here. We pick up all trash. We don't leave anything behind. I think each day we'd fold up the tent, right? They gave that media people one last chance. Guys, what kind of drinks are these?
Some type of
They're called EGs.
frozen.
One's a strawberry, one's a root beer. You eat them with a spoon, kind of.
Might get one. Okay. No, it's just something cool to drink because we're in the hottest of the hot for today. Next hour starts to get cooler.
All right, folks. Well, we went live with the new footage. We did see something in the guy's pocket, whether it's a radio phone, whether it's a scanner, a RF sniffer, a code like when you go in and use the gas station, you swipe your card and it gets your bank information or whatever. It's like a scam. Maybe that's a handheld one that picks up frequencies or codes or something. Maybe. It's definitely something in his pocket. Cat don't think that Mrs. Guthrie is alive. I don't know. They would have had to spend a lot of money to keep her alive. This woman's on a pacemaker. Takes numerous pills, medications. So that all costs time, money, food to keep her alive. Maybe there's a chance she's alive, but they brought too much heat to it. So now whoever does have her might not make a move for a while. If they're saying that's Nancy Guthrie's blood, now we know she was bleeding somewhere. Whether it was there or some. Is it possible there's no other blood at that whole property but them couple drops that were there? He could have dropped that. He could have had something in a vial or something and poured the drops out or smashed the glass vial or something. And we don't know. And we're not going to know too much until they start showing us inside the house and what we can see. Well, I don't know. If she was taken from her bed and it was dark in the room and the guy startled her and she woke up, whatever, and did she have fingernails? is what I'm trying to find out. Is this little old lady have fingernails? Because she might have scratched somebody. Well, I don't know. Anything you folks want to say before we end this video? We will be back with more stuff that's coming out. Make sure you stop over at JLR's and the Mob Cruise. Well, I have to run. Nice talking. Yeah, Mother Dragons. Have a great night. Be safe. Debbie, thanks for stopping in. And you folks all be safe and lock your doors and windows. And we'll be back here shortly or later. You know, now YouTube has changed. Google or something has changed because now our live stream is all different, I think.